appearing now on the Boardwalk Honda Hotline. He's the lead NBA writer, NBC Sports Radio, the 24/7 Sports Live Sports Talk Network. You can listen at NBCSportsRadio.com. Kurt Helin joins us to talk a little hoops at the All-Star break. Kurt, how you been, pal?
I'm doing good. I'm going to struggle through a weekend in warm Los Angeles with the All-Star somehow. I'm going to battle through that somehow.
What a bummer. The NBA All-Star Weekend is here, but it's not, there's a lot of storylines. Let me ask you, as we got most teams are going to have about 30, 25 games left down the stretch. So what has been kind of the main NBA storyline of this season for you? Because it seems that this has been a really entertaining season.
It has been. And for a season where we went in like it's not going to be that interesting because it's Golden State versus the world, Cleveland has made it interesting by being, LeBron was brilliant the first 10 weeks and was able to carry them. Then he wore down. He was dispirited. They were genuinely awful for the month of January. And they look energized again. I think that for the last 30 games, like how real is this? How good are they really as the scouting reports start to come in and people start to adjust? But look, if you put athletes and guys who try around an energized LeBron James, that's gotten to the finals before. It'd probably get to the finals again, but like where do they rank versus like Boston and Toronto is going to be fascinating to watch during these last 30 games.
Yeah, no question. I agree with you. I think everybody just thought coming into the season it's Golden State. I think everybody thinks they're the favorite, but everything that's gone on under them, Houston, yep. You've got obviously what's going on in the East here. Is Golden State still a huge favorite, or has somebody closed the gap?
I think Houston's got the best chance. I think that they've closed the gap a little. We'll see. Right now the Warriors are struggling. It's horrid. They've gone 4-4 in their last. They've gone 500 over the last 8 games. So somehow the sky is falling, but they've just got a bad case of senioritis. Like they just want to get to the All-Star break. They're a little bored with this part of the season. They'll come back, about 20 games to go, they'll get really focused and dialed in, and their flexibility and versatility make them so hard to – it's not just having Curry and Durant. It's their ability to beat you a variety of different ways and to go at you at different styles is what makes them almost impossible to beat, and I'm not sure Houston can match that. But it's going to be fun watching them try. Like the Western Conference Finals should be fascinating. They
should be fun over here on the East Side. Kurt Helin's with us, NBC Sports Radio, and the Sixers are the hometown team here. They've obviously gone through their troubles in the past, but a big win last night, roaring back from 25 down against the Heat. They get to the All-Star break with 30 wins. They are just one loss behind the 4 seed in the East. Kind of give us your assessment of Philadelphia at the All-Star break.
Yeah, this team has really taken strides this year that we'd hope they'd take, right? And the win, that last win against the Heat was the kind of win you want to see because it's the one, Joel Embiid's not playing. But that's a win over a Heat team that's also in the thick of it trying to, stay in the playoffs and get a seed. And, hey, maybe you get home court or at least you get to the playoffs this year. That's just invaluable experience. Even with, hey, there's going to be roster changes with Fultz coming in and, do they keep Redick beyond this year and those kind of questions. But for the core of this group to get to the playoffs and experience playoff basketball and learn, hey, it is different, and this is how it's different, and this is how we have to prepare, and it motivates the great players. Like, the great players get a taste of that and like, okay, I want more. What do I have to do? What do we have to do to get better, to be there? That's just huge for Philadelphia. So wherever they land, I think this is just a great experience for them.
If you look at this whole Fultz situation, I don't know, everybody seems to have some sort of take on it. Do you have any insight on what this whole Fultz thing, what the Sixers are thinking or what the people around the NBA are saying about this? Because it has just been a bizarre happening.
It has been bizarre, and there's a real – if you talk to people around the league, there's a real chicken and egg debate about the injury causing the change in shooting form versus, vice versa. How much of that was changed before that started to come down. But right now, I mean – he looks like there's so many baseball players that are the better example for this, where guys just get the yips, right? And suddenly, nobody can throw from second to first without throwing it into the stands, or what, it just guys lose it. And I feel like that's what's happened to Fultz. Like you go back and watch his college form, and it's not Ray Allen, but it's fine. Like, it's a good shooting form, and now he's like shot putting the ball up there. It's just weird, and they're trying to use virtual reality, which a lot of players use, but they're trying all this stuff to get him back, and it's just kind of strange. But I think once he gets his groove back, that's a key. That's just somebody who can just plug right in and gives you that other ball handler and shot creator that they need.
Well, we saw what Bellinelli added to them last night. I think he had 17, hit 3 of 6 from 3. So they added that. If they can add that guy who can take the ball to the basket over the final month of the season, where their schedule really lightens up here. They've played a brutal schedule to this point. Kurt Helin is with us.
Schedule in the league so far.
Yeah, they've had the toughest schedule, and I think the rest of the way. I think we read it off the other day. They're going to be a favorite in about 20 of their last 26 games. I mean, they only play about 6 playoff teams the rest of the way for them. So it should be interesting to see down the stretch But they've lost games against Phoenix and Chicago's of the world. So we'll see if they've grown in this second half of the season.
Yeah, welcome to having and cheering for a young team where
right.
We should get this one. They show up against the good teams, and surprise you. They play horribly against teams like Orlando or somebody they should just walk all over. So that's the growing pains of a young team that's just learning how to bring it every night.
You buying Toronto this year?
Yeah, I am. I feel like I'm going to regret this, but yes, I am. They are. Look, they're moving the ball on offense, off the ball. I'm curious what happens in the playoffs and the kind of the Mike Tyson, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth theory. They're moving the ball, but late in some games this year when they've been pressured, they've kind of gone back to the bad form on offensive isolation. But they're defending better. I think that makes them dangerous. I think if they keep moving the ball, if they keep buying in, and DeMar DeRozan keeps playing the way he has, I think they've got a shot. I think they're right there with, Cleveland's probably the favorite, but them, Toronto, and them, Boston.
Yeah.
You could convince me any of them.
Boston, by the way, has lost 3 in a row. They're the top 3. After that, it's wide open. Washington, Milwaukee, Indy, Philly, Miami, and Detroit. They're the 9 teams fighting for the 8 spots. Out of the top 3, do you think any of those teams have a shot to make a run?
What's a run? To the finals? Yes. I think, Cleveland's got a shot, and I would say Cleveland probably I would take over the field right now, but maybe Boston's got a 30.
No. Outside of Boston, Toronto, Cleveland, the rest of the East field.
Maybe Washington, just because they're so good with their starters. Wall is great. Beal is having his greatest season, but they don't bring it nightly. Talk about a team that just doesn't build good habits, so I can't buy them yet. And as much as I think Milwaukee's a team of the future, I'm not sold that. Look, I wouldn't want to play them in the first round. They're a matchup nightmare. Giannis is a freak of nature, but I'm not sure they're going to make if they win a round, they'll be thrilled.
Kurt Helin at Basketball Talk on Twitter, the lead NBA writer, NBCSports.com. You can hear him on NBC Sports Radio, the 24/7 live sports talk network. Listen at NBCSportsRadio.com. Enjoyed it, Kurt. Appreciate it.
Anytime. Take care, man.